Hi, I'm Joe Cox, the Pop Marketer, and welcome to day 3 of 100 Days of Pop. You know, I gotta say, 3 is my favorite number. It's a lot of things. It's human, it's mind, body, and spirit. It's context, past, present, and future. It's also Huey, Dewey, Louie, a 3-hour tour in the Star Wars trilogy, which is nice. One more thing, it's beginning, middle, and end, which gets us to the meat of today's show. I'm going to talk about breaking your marketing campaign, product launch, or your branded content project into a 3-act structure to tell a better story. It's ripped directly from the entertainment industry, and it's super easy, so let's dig in. Okay, so advertising campaigns. Advertising campaigns of the past never needed to think like movies, TV, music, or comic books. They were inside of those things, but not those things themselves. So advertising worked more binary, which means it had 2 states. It was like a switch. It was either on or it was off. It was on-off. It was on or off, off, on, on-off, on-off, on-off. You see, I'd make a commercial or run an ad and it was on or it was off. But the pop culture industry had to act much differently. They weren't holding an audience hostage. They had to earn their attention. So instead of just thinking about on and off, they'd begin really early releasing movie trailers, sneak peeks, press junkets, sometimes years before the content was released, to start building up that anticipation so that when they actually did launch, they could somewhat guarantee success. Opening weekends dictate entire monetary success for a blockbuster movie these days. And then due to the aftermarket, first with beta and VHS, later with DVD, and now digital release, the movie industry created an aftermarket, or something to focus on after the launch of the content. For online video games, this is when an ongoing dialogue goes on with their fans, tweaking and optimizing the play experience. So the first thing I do when we're planning a new idea for a client or a brand, I start by putting 3 squares on a whiteboard, and I label those squares the pre, the during, and the post. Let's break those down. First, the pre. This is where we build that anticipation for the campaign or the idea that's still to come. It's the pre-game, the pre-show. What's your version of a movie trailer? How do you hint to what's coming? Who gets early access? How long does it last? A day, a week, 6 months? I guess it all matters on your audience and how much this thing is going to impact them. But it all goes up to the next part, which is the during. So the during. The during is, well, the during is the during. It's the launch, the premiere, it's the limited time offer, a new product, or an upgrade of an existing service. How are you going to make it into a big deal? Is it an event? Do you throw a party, invite content creators, roll out the red carpet, and, maybe get a little PR and earn media around it? The during is the meat of the story that you're going to be trying to tell. And finally, the post. The post can really be powerful. Most marketers skip it because they're already off to the next thing. Don't do that. Build an ending, a finale to your story. You can do this by announcing that the limited time offer is now a permanent part of the menu. You can recap the response from your fans and advocates, or you can even piggyback into your next product idea and start this whole process over again. The important thing is that this is where you let your fans take the idea and run with it, and maybe get a little credit for what you just did. And that's it. You got the pre, building anticipation, you have the during, make your launch count, and finally you have the post, where you end your story or bring in your fans to help you end it. If nothing else, add this template to your next idea to stretch it out and make it a story. I think you'll see that it's going to quickly get you starting to think about content rather than advertising only. That's it for episode 3, gang. Thank you for tuning in, and see you on day 4 on 100 Days of Pop. This is Joe Cox. Peace. I'm Batman. $2.50 at Walgreens. It's a good deal. I told Jen it is a good deal on this. This is going to do a lot of good for me. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Pointed towards me. Pointed towards you. Everyone can see and everyone can chew. All right, let's get this show on the road.